Things are about to get really crazy for crypto here. As you guys have probably been paying attention to the prices, the entire crypto market is down today. But over the past few days, Bitcoin, Ethereum, basically every coin has moved exactly as we like to see it, with Ethereum almost taking the lead, right? But not really, because Bitcoin quickly afterwards saw a new all-time high, exactly as I described over the past few videos, in which I said, we want to see ETH do good, sure. We want to see ETH go past the all-time high, sure. I mean, it just got rejected, and that is not any one single reason we just went down. It's just the overall entire market moving down. But in the meantime, without Ethereum breaking out and going too crazy, Bitcoin all of a sudden took over, hit a quick all-time high, and today is down a few percent. But if we look back at previous times that Bitcoin broke the all-time high, actually, very often Bitcoin pretty quickly after hitting that peak fell back down ever so slightly. But do not forget that if you look at past breakouts, every single time it broke that high, theoretically speaking, it could have taken some time, sure. But actually, what we're witnessing right now already with regards to the price not moving up like crazy is a bit of an anomaly. Almost every single time the price broke through, right, as you can see right here, we broke through on that basically July 7th candle, the price went insane. And this time around, we've been stalling. We've had stalls for like a week or something like that before, but not this many. And from that angle, I keep thinking right now, they just want you out. They just want you to sell your coins. But as I described earlier, just yesterday, I really feel as if the altcoin is here, or from another angle. And by the way, the camera, it's freaking 3:50 a.m. I'm not installing no motherfucking camera, right? Anyway, I was trying to say, I've been saying the altcoin season, it basically started. But what that means, if you watch the video, not just the title, you would have probably known what I said, that this is basically the moment that Bitcoin took over again, made a new all-time high, and we kind of expect this to continue, right? We do not expect altcoins to really be at the craziest of points, but I feel as if the theory I've described to you guys 1,000 times, which partially means that every single cent below the all-time high is a dip. That's part of it. And part of it is that Bitcoin goes first, then ETH, then major alts, and then yada yada yada. I still now, especially from the moves of the last 24 hours, feel as if this feeling I've had and these ultimate end dates, so basically the all-time high between August and January, are now more certain than ever. And even Coinbase themselves posted, altcoin season is coming. As September approaches, the transition to actually I'll read it. The transition to a full-scale altcoin season is likely. Our positive 3Q25 outlook stems from macro trends such as potential Fed rate cuts and expected regulatory advancements. More key themes in this monthly outlook report. But all I think you got to take away from this is really, if you're starting to look at the big players, almost everybody right now is saying this is really where things are starting to get crazy. And even though an announcement came out that the US government is not going to be buying any Bitcoin right now, perhaps that's really what caught us all by surprise. I do still see it mostly from the 𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗧 perspective, and I'll cover this one too. So the 𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗧 perspective is, man, see all these price moves down as a gift. And Ponzi here has said basically that this was one of the craziest days ever in trading. Obviously, a lot of us are down significant sums of money throughout the past 24 hours, but hey, ultimately, you got to understand that nobody guaranteed you it was going to be easy. Matter of fact, I make no guarantees at all. All right, guys, but before we move on, something pretty interesting is happening to Alvara protocol right now. So as you can see right here, Basket Lab beta launch is kicking off. The takeover starts here. Sounds interesting, but what does it really mean? Well, if you take a look what Alvara is, they built a way for anyone to package a crypto strategy into an on-chain basket, an ERC-7621, launch it in minutes, and earn fees whenever people invest in it. It's like an asset management tool without the middleman. So if you're wondering why this came up and what exactly does it detail then, well, Basket brings structure, letting you package whole narratives into a single tradable yield-enabled portfolio. And it's basically because we're in an era of coins everything, right? Tokens, creator assets, attention, but it's all so much noise. And they wanted to make something that stands out. You can see some of the properties on-chain, composed array, revenue generating, liquid, and tradable. And it's really quite interesting that in just a few seconds, you can actually make your entire strategy a real tradable product. And for that all, the initial basket offering is what's going on right now, is of course one of their core points. So if this sounds like something for you, make sure you check it out with the link I'll leave down below. And so to continue on, there's a post that I liked quite a lot. It read, "I will be trading the next leg up as if it's the final leg up of the cycle. Because if it is, I secured the bag, and if it isn't, I have plenty of capital to reinvest with. You can always re-enter with realized capital. You can't make a coin go back up after a 50 to 80% crash." Now, you most of the time can. The only thing I think is a nice takeaway from here is you should always try to realize that there's only a certain amount of all-time highs broken every single season. Let's say Bitcoin makes, on average, let's just call it 23. Today or yesterday, we saw one. Right? Just let's say a few weeks ago, we saw one. A few weeks before that, we saw one. When you really start breaking it down, every single one of these impulses where it breaks the all-time high, and right now it broke it, right, and fell back down, that will only happen X amount of times, and it's really not that many. If you consistently take a bit of chunk or a chunk of profit the moment it breaks the all-time high, I really still think that at the end, you end up with a pretty good P&L. Now, of course, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite as I'm not really taking too much of these trades. I'm just kind of letting them slide, letting them go. The ETH trade was in significantly more profit earlier as we were at 47.50 or something like that. And actually, the entire account is down, I don't even know how much, like over $100,000. In total, we're down significant sums in just one day. It's really kind of crazy when you start breaking it down. But one of the nicer things is, because of my trading strategy, the bots today have had a freaking field day. Right? And what I mean with that is that they've been buying like crazy as the market moved down here just now. And I really love to see it. So as you can see on the right, you can see that the amount of transaction here, just for example, the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 bot was about 340 transactions in just that little bit of time. It's really quite funny. The reason that is so beautiful is because if we now, for example, go to my XRP 10K to a million challenge, if you just quickly scroll through and see it right there, you can see all of a sudden we've gone from 4.8, something like that, % profit yesterday to 5.3 because the market moved up hard and then came down hard. And right now, it had actually a little bit of volatility in there, which is obviously nice, because that also means now we can actually cash this out, which we should be doing. We should cash this out as our average price is right around $349 on this one. We should cash out the $2,200, and once we've cashed it out, we should put it back in to, of course, compound it once more, as the idea is to compound it 92 times. At that point, we'll get to a million. And basically just from that point forward, just wait it out again until it's in massive amounts of profit. And even though the P&L is floating and not doing too good, we're down tremendously on it, it's just temporary, because over time, you all know it. This is going to be one of my craziest positions ever. And I've actually thought about it too. Matter of fact, fun fact, if I'd opened any of these bots just yesterday, when ETH was at a crazy high price, it's kind of funny how much it would have bought as the market moved down right now. And so if it moved back up, the amount of money that it made, or if I just opened any one of these bots, like right now, I'm thinking of opening a few bots tomorrow, maybe in the video in the morning, I'll open some more. The reason I'm thinking that is because the market is down a little bit. Sure, we're not having a crazy crash of sorts. I know. But I'll just open it up with some size, not really anything too significant. For example, I might do another 10K to a million challenge with ETH and perhaps Solana. Maybe we do those two, right? And if the market does move down, that's the problem. If I do a challenge, I can't add to it. But otherwise, if I just open bigger bots, if the market does move down, we can add to them. And I still believe that right now with all these confirmations, really, as I described in the video, all I got to do is just gobble these freaking coins up. And if you're wondering which exact coins will I be buying, I'll cover it as the market progresses. But right now, there's so many theories, so many stupid things, it doesn't really matter, right? Sol, XRP, ETH, BTC, theoretically speaking, if that's all your basket contains, and this is not financial advice, I personally think you'll still, on average, if you, for example, deploy the 3x leverage strategy, which you described, we'll probably still see a 10x of the entire portfolio in like the season, which could be just 3 months or so. And that's because I think Solana will probably be above 500, probably significantly higher, but I'm saying above $500 this season. XRP will probably be above $10 this season. Ethereum will probably be at $10,000 this season. And so on average, you know, if you just have those, it might be closer towards a 2, let's say 3x. Obviously with 2, 3x, maybe 4x leverage, probably at around a 10x or so the entire portfolio, if those were your main holds. You know, if it was all in Bitcoin, of course, a little bit harder. But hey, you never know. Maybe Bitcoin ends up being $250,000 this season. You had a 5x leverage, that meaning, you know, times 5 and times 2. So it could have also been a nice 10x on your entire portfolio. If that were to happen, which is really pretty crazy if you think about it. And that's kind of the way I approach this all, thinking, hey, right now the market's come back down. My bots are printing as they're buying this freaking dip. Really, I've said it every single day, right? And just yesterday we hit an all-time high. The day before that I say buy every freaking dip. Today you get another opportunity, and like I just showed you with Michael Saylor, really, it's a beautiful thing. Yesterday a lot of people were thinking, oh damn, I wish I bought more. Even I was on that camp thinking, damn, oh, I should have gone even crazier. Today we get yet another chance, as a lot of markets have, or a lot of coins have moved down. Realize that we are set for the craziest run we've ever seen. And even if it doesn't happen, you got to realize for yourself that this is the probably craziest chance you ever get. That's the way I view it. That's all my thoughts for today. And yes, the market's moving down, not any too specific of a reason. You could perhaps argue that this was the main reason, but I believe the market already moved down significantly before that this announcement came out. But yeah, also we just hit an all-time high. A little pullback is not that crazy. Just do not get tired. Do not get scared. Do not give up. And that's about it.